You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
Three numbers before the open. SK Hynix ADRs closed up 13.1% in their Nasdaq debut, running 16.2% above the Seoul close. Short interest on SK Hynix's local shares jumped 31.4% in just 2 weeks, nearly triple Samsung Electronics' pace. JPMorgan just crossed the 5% ownership line in 4 KOSDAQ parts and equipment names, worth 381.1 billion won. HBM4 prices could double next year as NVIDIA's next chip ramps and supply stays tight. And the Bank of Korea looks locked in for a rate hike this Thursday. It's Monday, July 13th. Here's what today's story could mean for the Korean market. SK Hynix listed ADRs on Nasdaq this week as part of a push to attract global capital and reward talent with dollar-denominated stock options. Foreign investors have been rotating into oversold KOSDAQ components tied to semiconductor testing, packaging, and AI infrastructure equipment. Economists surveyed by Seoul Economic Daily see this month's rate move as the start of a tightening cycle, driven by inflation, a weak won, and surging home prices. Here's what the numbers show. SK Hynix ADRs priced at $149 and closed at $168.49, up 13.1%, equal to about 2.53 million won per equivalent Korean share, 16.2% above the local close of 2.18 million won. Short interest on SK Hynix's Seoul-listed shares surged 31.4% between June 23rd and July 8th, nearly triple the 11.7% rise in Samsung Electronics. JPMorgan crossed the 5% ownership threshold in Leno Industrial, TLB, MK Electron, and Sungkwang Bend on July 9th and 10th, a stake worth roughly 381.1 billion won. Foreign investors bought a net 506.2 billion won of KOSDAQ shares this month, with Leno Industrial alone drawing 266.4 billion won in foreign buying. Digitimes reports HBM4 prices could jump from about $2 per gigabit now to $4 to $5 next year, as NVIDIA's Vera Rubin platform ramps. The Bank of Korea meets Thursday, and all 20 economists surveyed expect a 0.25 percentage point hike, the first increase since January 2023. So what does this mean for active traders in Korea's market? Earlier we said SK Hynix ADRs are trading 16.2% above the local close. Here's what that means for your screen this week. Watch whether that premium holds, narrows, or transfers into the Seoul-listed shares as short positions unwind. Thursday's rate decision lands alongside that same premium story, so KOSPI large caps and the won could both move on one catalyst within hours of each other. The JPMorgan filings and this month's 506.2 billion won of foreign KOSDAQ buying point to a rotation away from mega-cap concentration and toward oversold parts and equipment names, a shift worth tracking in daily flow data, not just headlines. That's today's AI PRISM, Stock Investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a WAN-IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.